Anin, Buju, Tanse, Atlanate, Wadzie, How. Hello and welcome. This training video is presented by the Speech Language and Literacy Special Education Team at the Manitoba First Nations Education Resource Centre. This video will provide a general overview of an adapted program called Mow the Mouse. My name is Dashiell Brockman. I adapted this presentation from my colleagues Kelly Ring-Wicklow and Karen Batchelor. It's important to note before we get started that Mow the Mouse is adapted for the Manitoba First Nations Education Resource Centre from its original content, which was created by the BC Aboriginal Childcare Society by Anne Gardner and Margaret Chesterman. To the BC ACCS and Ms. Gardner and Ms. Chesterman, we say thank you for allowing us to use this program with our students. This video is presented in English, but the strategies in this video and the program also work in the language of your community. As you will see a little later, this program specifically includes ways to use words in your language. The Manitoba First Nations Education Resource Centre fully encourages and supports children to learn and speak in your language. Now, let's get started. Okay, so we're going to be talking about this adapted program called Mow the Mouse. Let's go over the agenda. Here's what we will cover in this video. Number 1, what is the Mow the Mouse program? Number 2, the goals. What will children learn from Mow the Mouse? Number 3, what are the roles of staff in delivering Mow the Mouse? Number 4, unpacking the big box that you've received. And number 5, working through the lesson plans. So what is Mow the Mouse? Mow the Mouse is a speech and language development program that uses First Nations toys and stories to enhance children's language development. And it's adapted to be user-friendly and relatable for First Nations students living in Manitoba. Mow the Mouse is suitable for children of various ages. It's been used for children as young as nursery school and as old as grade 3. You, the resource teacher, classroom teacher, or EA, can consult with the speech-language pathologist who works for your school about which grades and classrooms would respond best to this program. The goals for Mow the Mouse are that children will work on phonological awareness skills. Phonological awareness skills help you to tune into the sounds of language and recognize the sequences of language, and then to manipulate the sounds and sequences in a language. Phonological awareness is particularly important. It's the biggest building block for reading success because it promotes awareness of the phonological or sound structures of words. It focuses on sound-word associations. And it begins developing before phonics, which is correlating sounds with letters, and continues developing beyond phonics. Often, there's a lot of focus on phonics, but not a lot of focus on phonological awareness. When we talk about building phonological awareness skills, we think about it like a ladder, where the first rung is rhyming. Then children learn about identification, then blending, and then segmenting. Let's talk about each of these and why they're important. When we work on rhyming, it shows the similarities and differences in the sounds of words. At the receptive level, that is, the understanding, children identify rhymes. And at the expressive level, they start making their own rhymes. When we work on phonological awareness identification, it's about identifying the position of sounds in words. So, children need to be able to identify the initial position. For example, if we were working on the t sound, then the initial position would be tap, tick, tall. Children need to be able to identify the medial position. Again, if we were working on the t sound, that would be water, sweater. And they need to be able to identify the final position. Bat, cat, sat. Identification helps children know when two words begin with the same or different sounds. The next part of phonological awareness skills is blending, which is putting sound sequences together. That's taking 1, 2, or 3 syllables and putting them all together. So if we want to make the word butter, we have to put 2 syllables together. Butter. And if we want to make a 3-syllable word, we have to say butterfly. At the blending stage, children learn about onsets, that is, the first sound of a syllable, and rhymes, that's the rest of the syllable. So if the onset is s and the rhyme is un, if we put them together, onset and rhyme, we have sun. If the onset is k and the rhyme is atch, we can put them together, catch. If the onset is b and the rhyme is all, we can blend them to make ball. Children learn how blending phonemes, that is, the individual sounds, can make different words. For instance, s plus o makes so. B plus e makes bee. Oo, n makes moon. The most complex and challenging of the phonological awareness skills is segmenting, which is kind of like the opposite of blending. We learned about blending sequences together. Then children learn about breaking sequences apart into individual levels. So again, if we're given a 3-syllable word, we can break butterfly into 3 different syllables. Butterfly. If a child is given a word like sun, they can segment it into onset and rhyme. S-un. Catch. K-atch. Ball. B-all. If a child is given a short word, they can break it into individual sounds or phonemes. So. S-o. B. B-e. Moon. M-oo-n. The second goal for Mo the Mouse is that children will improve vocabulary skills. In this program, there are different kinds of vocabulary that children will learn. They practice listening vocabulary. That's words you understand if you hear somebody else say them. They practice speaking vocabulary. That's words you are able to use during conversational speech. These are words you have easy access to in your mind. Reading vocabulary. Those are words that you understand if you read them in a text. Writing vocabulary. These are words that you're able to use in writing to tell somebody about something or elaborate on a point. Thirdly, children will improve their reading comprehension skills. This program focuses on reading comprehension in 2 different ways. Firstly, it practices sequencing skills. That's the ability to break down an event into simple steps and then put those steps into order. For example, if you were doing laundry, what would you do first? Do you start the machine and then load the clothes, or do you load the clothes and then start the machine? Sequencing also means that children will build the skill to talk about something that happened in the past in a logical way so others can follow the story. And it helps children understand how to perform certain tasks that require the steps to be done in a specific order. Reading comprehension is also built by using predicting skills. Predicting is worked on by using clues and background information to make assumptions about what will happen next. Fourthly, children will practice speech sound articulation. When we talk about speech sound articulation, we're talking about how sounds, syllables, and words are formed with your tongue, jaw, teeth, lips, and palate to alter the flow of air from our throats. For example, if we make the s sound, we're bringing our tongue up almost to the top of our mouth. If we make the t sound, we're sharply placing the tip of our tongue right behind our teeth. And the last goal for this program is that children will practice social skills. Social skills are the skills that we use to communicate and interact with others, including verbal and nonverbal communication through gestures, body language, and our personal appearance. Children work on social skills by expressing their feelings and using new vocabulary to talk about their emotions. Okay, now let's talk about the roles of staff when delivering the Mo the Mouse program. The role of the classroom teacher is usually to provide core programming and instruction, to collaborate and co-teach with the SLP, to provide summative and formative assessment, to work with the EAs and provide training as necessary, to create a physical environment safe for learning, and to participate in professional development. The role of the resource teacher is to support teachers in planning for students with additional needs in the classroom. Resource teachers may also co-teach lessons in this program as needed. Resource teachers will consult with teachers and the speech-language pathologist, and work with the EAs and provide training as necessary. The role of the educational assistant is to reinforce the strategies with small groups of students, and provide one-to-one support for students with additional needs. EAs will also model appropriate and expected behavior for students, and support programming for individualized student plans, then discuss and collaborate with classroom teachers as appropriate. The role of the speech-language pathologist is to collaborate and co-teach with the classroom teacher, to consult with classroom and resource teachers, to support the teachers in planning for students with additional needs, to work with the EAs and provide training as necessary, and provide professional development related to the Mo the Mouse program, as in this video. Remember, roles can be fluid. As you plan to deliver the Mo the Mouse program, make sure everybody understands what they will be doing. Okay, now we're going to go over the materials for the Mo the Mouse program. If you're about to deliver the Mo the Mouse program, you probably received a box like this. It may seem a little daunting at first because there is a lot in there. So what we're going to do here is go through most of the items inside, especially the key ones that you will definitely be using as you deliver the program. When you open up the box, you will find Mo the Stuffed Mouse and his house. You'll find a picture book called Meet Mo. You will find a clipboard with example student books and cards. You'll find full-page pictures of stuffed animals in their environments. There are 15 full-page pictures in all. You'll also find full-page I Live Here pictures. There are 3 of these. You will find the Meet Mo Lesson Plans book. You will have 2 picture books, The Little Mouse, The Red Ripe Strawberry, and The Big Hungry Bear, and Raven and Eagle. You will have envelopes with weekly lesson cards. There's 1 envelope per lesson week, and inside those envelopes, you will have the lesson cards themselves. You will also have a bag with stuffed animals inside. Now, these are just the key items inside the box. You may find more items inside, depending on what your speech-language pathologist decided to send. If you are unsure about any item inside the box, talk to your speech-language pathologist, and they can go over when and how to use each item. Now that we're familiar with what's in the box, let's talk about how the program will be structured. Mo the Mouse is usually delivered as an 8-week program. You can find the full schedule on page 3 of the Lesson Plans book. The first week is the Introduction Week. The second week is a Phonological Awareness Week, where you're focusing on the sound k. The third week is another Phonological Awareness Week, where instead you're focusing on the sound f. Week 4 is a Reading Week, where you will read The Little Mouse, The Red Ripe Strawberry, and The Big Hungry Bear. Week 5, we're back to Phonological Awareness, this time focusing on the sound s. Week 6, Phonological Awareness again, this time the sound sh. Week 7, Phonological Awareness one more time, this time the sound r. And Week 8 is another reading week, this time reading the story Raven and Eagle. There is also a 9th week, another Phonological Awareness week where the sound is ul. This week is optional and may or may not be included by your speech-language pathologist. Okay, now we're going to go over the lesson plans in general and talk about how the weeks are structured based on the kind of week that's scheduled. Remember, always consult your Meet Mo Lesson Plans book, which has detailed instructions for every week, every day, every lesson, and every activity. In fact, it's so detailed, it sometimes tells you exactly what you could say for each activity. So, let's talk about Week 1, the Introduction Week. What will you do on Monday? Monday is about meeting Mo for the first time. You can find detailed instructions for this lesson on page 7 in the Lesson Plans book. The objective for the first day is that students will learn about Mo the Mouse, their day with Mo, and the Mo the Mouse song. The activities are to read the Meet Mo book and to learn Mo's song, which is on page 5 in your lesson plan book. You better get used to this song because you're going to be singing it a lot. It's sung to the tune of Row Your Boat, and I'll give you a short verse here. Mo, mo, mo the mouse. Okay, no more of that. Tuesday, the lesson is about the animal sounds, page 9 in Lesson Plans book. The objective is that the students will meet the different animals and be introduced to the "Where is" song. They'll hear the sound each animal makes and learn to answer "where" questions. The activities are to introduce the animal friends and practice their sounds, to match the stuffed animals to animal pictures, and then to talk about each animal. On Wednesday, it's an example Day with Mo lesson. That's page 11 in the Lesson Plans book. The objective is that students will learn words in their language, learn about their responsibility when it's their turn to have a Day with Mo, and to see an example of a Day with Mo book. The activities are to introduce the class to Day with Mo activities, to go through the example Day with Mo book, and then to teach words in your language. We'll be talking more about Day with Mo activities in just a few minutes in this video. On Thursday, the lesson is about matching. It's page 13 in your Lesson Plans book. The objective is that the students will match the animals to their pictures and practice making each sound. The activities are to match all the animals in the kit to their laminated picture. Each student takes a turn. When an animal is matched to their picture, all students practice that sound 3 times. And on Friday, last day of the introduction week, it's the swim, run, and fly activity, page 15 in the Lesson Plans book. The objective is that students will identify which animals can swim, run, or fly, and practice the animal sounds. The activities are the students pull an animal out of the bag and name the animal. Then, the students all practice the sounds 3 times and decide whether the animal can swim, fly, or run, and place the animal on the appropriate sheet. Okay, so that's it for the introduction week. Remember, always refer to your Lesson Plans book for detailed instructions on how to prep and deliver each activity. The lesson plans will take about 15 to 20 minutes each day and gets the children familiar with the idea of checking in with Mo and his friends, which they'll be doing a lot over the next few weeks. Let's take a moment now to talk about the Day with Mo books. It's an important activity that's delivered throughout the entire program for each student. Each student needs to have an opportunity to have a day with Mo and then have a chance to make their own book. So what you need to do is plan a schedule for the 7 remaining weeks after the introduction week, and decide if you need to have 1 or 2 students do a day with Mo each week. The student whose day it is takes Mo at the beginning of the day. Make sure you talk to the student about taking good care of Mo. Then make sure you find a time close to the end of the day to assist the student in making their book. Classroom EAs can help with this too. There are word vocabulary lists included in the Mo the Mouse kit for different languages. There's Cree, the N dialect, Ojibwe, Island Lake dialect, and Dene. You could also involve your school's language instructor for more ideas on words to use. When the student makes their book at the end of the day, keep the student's book at school so that they can share it in class on Friday. After that, you can send home the book with the student and they can share it with their family. Okay, we talked about the intro week and how to prepare for Day with Mo activities for each student. Now let's talk about the Phonological Awareness, or Sound Weeks. There are 5 sound weeks in total. Week 2 focuses on the sound k, with the animal friend being raven. Week 3 focuses on the sound f, and the animal friend is the chipmunk. Week 5 focuses on the sound s. The animal friend is raccoon. Week 6 focuses on the sound sh, and the animal friend is eagle. Week 7 focuses on the sound and the animal friend is the bear. Remember to use the envelope and cards that match the sound that you're working on for each Phonological Awareness week. You'll get pretty used to these weeks by the end. The Monday to Friday schedule for each Phonological Awareness week is largely the same. On Monday, it's an intro to the animal sound, page 17 in your Lesson Plans book. Students will be introduced to the animal of the week, and they will become aware of the sound of the week and how to produce it correctly. The activity is to sing Mo's song and to practice the speech sounds. On Tuesday, it's Sound Awareness, page 19 in the Lesson Plans book. The objective is that students will identify the position of the sound in words and practice saying the sound in words as they match pictures. The activity is the sound hunt and the animal word match. On Wednesday, it's rhyming, page 21 in the lesson plans book. The objective is that students will identify and produce rhyming pairs. The activity is matchmaker. On Thursday, it's new vocabulary, page 23 in the lesson plans book. The objective is that students will increase their vocabulary by describing the animal of the week. The activity is the word map. You can see an example of a map in the lesson plans book. On Friday, it's a book sharing day, page 25 in the lesson plans book. This is where the student or students who had a day with Mo this week share their book with the rest of the class. And so the activity is each student shares their day with Mo. The last kind of week are the book weeks. The two books are The Little Mouse, The Red Ripe Strawberry, and The Big Hungry Bear, that's week 4, and Raven and Eagle, that's week 8. The Monday to Friday schedule for the book weeks is largely the same between the two. On Monday, students work on predicting. That's pages 26 and 37 in the lesson plans book. The objective is that students will make predictions about the book before they read it. The activities are the mystery bag activity and the picture walk. On Tuesday, it's new vocabulary, pages 28 and 39 in the lesson plans book. The objective is that students will understand the vocabulary in the story, and students will feel enjoyment listening to the story. The activities are the story read aloud and learning new words. On Wednesday, students learn and talk about emotions in the book. That's page 31 and 41 in the lesson plans book. The objective is that students will identify emotions of the characters in the story. The activities are to read the story aloud and then review the emotions. On Thursday, students practice sequencing the story. That's pages 34 and 43 in the lesson plans book. The objective is that students will sort pictures of story events into beginning, middle, and end of story. The activities are beginning, middle, end sorting. And on Fridays, as usual, it's book sharing, pages 37 and 45 in the lesson plans book. Again, that's whichever students had a day with Mo this week share their book with the class. Now you know all the different kinds of weeks. There are just a few last things to think about as you plan to deliver this program. Firstly, know the period, the 8 or 9 weeks you will deliver the program. Read through the lesson plans and review the necessary materials for the upcoming week. Then, prep the materials. For example, make all the Day with Mo books that you'll need for all your students. Know which students will have their Day with Mo for which week and which day. And again, plan your roles. Ask yourself who will lead the lesson for each day and who will support the students. And with that, you're pretty much ready to deliver the Mo the Mouse program. But if you still have questions, ask the speech-language pathologist who works for your school. Kaneskamaten, Kananakuman, Pidamaya, Masi, Miigwech. Thanks for watching. If you have comments or questions, you can email us at speechandliteracy@mfnerc.com or visit our website www.mfnerc.org.